परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
भारतीय संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा। ज्ञान और विज्ञान यहीं से सबने पाया सारा, सबने पाया सारा। कुछ भूलों से हारा फिर से जीते देश हमारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागशील सेवा व्रतधारी युवा जगे पुरुषार्थी। वैज्ञानिकता विनय सभ्यता स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी, स्वभाव हो निस्वार्थी। देशभक्ति में तेजस्वी हो फिर समाज यह सारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
महावीर गोविंद शिवाजी बुद्ध गगन के तारे। परंपरा की पुण्य चेतना उर में हम सब धारे, उर में हम सब धारे। बाल हृदय में उसे जगाकर जगे देश यह सारा। गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
त्यागो सारी दुर्बलता को राष्ट्र समर्थ बनाओ। बंधु भाव समता ममता से सबको गले लगाओ, सबको गले लगाओ। चलो विवेकानंद मार्ग पर, शुभ संदेश हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, 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 गीता परिवार हमारा।
अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
वेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुराः पाणिर्मधुराः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
तरणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
अधरं मधुरं वदनं मधुरं नयनं मधुरं हसितं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
वेणुर्मधुरो रेणुर्मधुराः पाणिर्मधुराः पादौ मधुरौ नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुप्तं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
हरणं मधुरं तरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
कुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं मुक्तं मधुरं दृष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
मधुरा गावो मधुरा यष्टिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरम्
मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरम्
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायकु फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसतिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज संवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरतई सम भाई सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा नारद सारद सहित अहिसा जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज संहारो आपे तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबरपुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, कीजय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज, निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी। बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु, जो दायकु फलचारी। बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, सुमिरौ पवन कुमार। बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि, हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर, जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर। रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा। महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी, कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी। कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा, कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा। हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे, कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे। शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन, तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन। विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर, राम काज करिबे को आतुर। प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज संवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्योताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा है, प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्तन धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
सच्चिदानन्दं वासुदेवं व्रजप्रियं धर्मसंस्थापकं वीरं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा। ईश्वर भक्ति भाव से बहती संस्कारों की धारा, भारत माँ की सेवा में गीता परिवार हमारा, गीता परिवार हमारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
संस्कृति का वैभव जग में सबसे न्यारा।
जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ, जय भारत माँ, जय गीता माँ।
Jai Shri Krishna, everyone. A very, very, very warm welcome on this delightful Saturday evening. I know all of you have been waiting to get to know the 18th chapter, the Ek Adhyay Geeta, as our Shraddha told us last time, to understand it a little better, because the view from the last bogie of the train is amazing indeed. But as it's rightly said, prayer is the key of morning and bolt of the night. So let's begin our session with the opening prayer. For the opening prayer, I'm going to invite Rachna Didi. Rachna Didi is from Lucknow and is a finance consultant and a radio artist. At Geeta Parivar, she joined in January of 2022, and she's giving her beautiful seva as an anchor, tech, and GC. So let's hear her beautiful, soft, melodious voice for the opening prayer. Rachna Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna to all of you. Vasudeva Sutan Devam कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् श्रीकृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् जय श्री कृष्ण.
Thank you so much, Rachna Didi. Is she not melodious? Thank you, Didi.
दीदी म्यूट हो गई हैं आप.
Sorry. Bhodeep, Tom Brahmrup, and the Karnivaraka, Imam Maya, Krit Puja, Risteja Pravadya, Om Deepebhyo Namaha. We are asked to be scared of darkness, and rightly so. So let's start this session by lighting the divine light. For that, I'm going to invite Dr. Amrita from Aurangabad. She is a cosmetic dentist. So she makes our smile shine brightly. At Geeta Parivar, she is a tech and serving in L1, L2, L3. She's passed her Jigyasu and Pathak exam with full marks. Today, she's going to light up our session with the divine light. Dr. Amrita.
निषिद्धैरप्येभिर्लुलितमकरन्दो मधुकरैः करैरिन्दोरन्तश्छुरित इव सम्भिन्नमुकुलः विधत्तां सिद्धिन्नो नयनसुभगामस्य सदसः प्रकीर्णः पुष्पाणां हरिचरणयोरञ्जलिरयम् शरदिन्दुनिभां शुभ्रवस्त्रैरलङ्कृताम् कलहंसकृतावासां वरदां शारदां नुमः वरदां शारदां नुमः.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shraddha. This was so beautiful and divine. And with this glowing atmosphere, I would now like to take you forward. I know all of us have been so eagerly waiting for this evening for last 7 days when Shraddha Didi left us with the knowledge of 3 types of Gyan, and we are waiting for knowing the 3 types of Karma and the Karta. But I will fail in my duty if I do not introduce our Kokila Kanti Shraddha Didi. Her beautiful voice, her entire gesture, body language, everything. And whatever I'll say, in the end, she's just going to offer it to Krishna, I know. And she's going to say Krishna Kripa and Gurudev's Kripa. But I will fail in my duty if I do not say that. On the worldly front, Shraddha Didi is a very successful electronic engineer. She has worked as an app developer for so many years. She has been giving Geeta classes for last 9 years in Hyderabad from her residence. She works with Bhopal inmates, jail inmates. Amazing work she has been doing, and those inmates have been now passing their Jigyasu exam. She is a part of spreading Geeta knowledge. She has been trainer right from the very beginning, August of 2020, straight trainer. She serves as tech and so many sevas. And to add to that, now she's a Vivechak, and so many of us who have been waiting for English Vivechan sessions for higher levels are so indebted to her for the extra effort she's putting, and so much effort she's putting in these sessions. Shraddha Didi, we are so eagerly waiting for you to take us forward on this 18th chapter to know about the 3 types of Karta and 3 types of Karma. Over to you, Shraddha Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you so much, Meenakshi Priya Didi.
beautiful interest you have in the chapters, and because of sadhaks like you all and volunteers like you all, beautiful Deep Prajwalan and prayer we got to learn. Because of sadhaks like you, today we all are sitting here and enjoying the Vivajin sessions and learning the shlokas together. Thank you so much, Meenakshi Priya Didi. Let us start with the prarthana. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranatah Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanina Swayam Vyasena Krathitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ratavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaധ്യായിനി Ambatva Manasandadhani Bhagavadgītē Bhavadveshinim Om Shri Gurave Namaha. So till now we have seen 2 sessions of 18th chapter. 18th chapter, as Didi rightly pointed out, is a summary of all that we have learned so far. And we were at a point where we saw 3 types of jnana. Just a small view into what we have seen, why we are discussing jnana, then karma, all these things. Take an example of buying a car. Suppose you want to go and buy a car. What would you do? First, you will try to find out what is the make of that car. How much is it going to cost? So all the details that you try to get is the jnana about the car that we are trying to get. That is the jnana. Then, so that is the jnana. Whatever inputs you need, whatever whatever effort you put is karma. And parignyata, jnana, jnayam, parignyata, we have seen these 3 terms. These all then further it turns into jnana, karma and karta, the one who is going to do it. Now, to accomplish any task, it's very important that we understand all these terms nicely. So we should use this knowledge now. Once we understand, we have to use this knowledge for self-introspection and understand where do we stand. And that is how we'll be able to progress our lives. And to progress our lives, we have to move from the tamo gun to rajo gun, and then rajo gun to sattva gun in all these spheres that we are planning to discuss today. So far, we have also seen there are 3 types of jnana. Sattvic jnana, that is the sarvottam jnana. That is the best type of knowledge a person can have. Then the second was the rajasi jnana. What was rajasi jnana? Rajasi jnana was the one which is seeing things differently, distinctly. It gives a distinctive perspective of everything. That was Rajasi Jnana. And Tamasi Jnana, Shri Krishna refuses to call it Jnana also. There he has said Tattamasa Mudaratam. He is not even saying it is Tamasi Jnana. So we don't want to discuss that in much. Now next, Shri Krishna is taking us through to the understanding of 3 types of karma. Karma is any action that we do. You all are sitting and listening to Vivajin. That is an action. That is a karma. And then we will also proceed towards karta. First, let us focus on the karma. 23rd shloka. Niyatam sangarahitam aragadveshata kritam afalapripsuna karma Yattat sattvikamochyate. When we all are doing so many things in our daily lives, we should try to understand what are the characteristics of a sattvic karma. And our effort should be directed in this direction, that everything that we do, every karma, every action that we do, it's in this direction. Very importantly, we have to understand its characteristics. Now here it says, Niyatam Sangarahitam. In the very first session, we had discussed what are the different types of actions. Among them, one of them was Niyata Karma, what has been prescribed by scriptures for us. I'm a mother of 2 kids. looking after them is my niyata karma. We are also students. I'm also learning. We are a student. Being learning things properly is also our niyata karma. So all the students, everything, whatever is prescribed, a doctor's job is to save his patients, to cure his patients. That is his niyata karma. Whatever, and there are many other things, whatever is prescribed, that has to be done according to the scriptures, according to what is right, what is wrong. And these actions that motivate us, make us move towards satvikta. Whatever action is making us move towards the satvikta, that is called dharma. This definition Swamiji has given. Anything that inspires you to become satvik. This question comes to many of us. What is dharma? What is dharma? Just putting bindi, wearing different types of clothes, wearing saris, etc. Is that dharma? No. Whatever is taking you a step towards being sattvic is called dharma. Okay, that we have to understand, and in that we have to steer ourselves towards these actions such that they become sattvic. Suppose now I am staying in Hyderabad, I have to reach Delhi, but I take my car and drive it towards Pune. Where will I reach? So Shri Krishna has elaborated that we steer through in the correct direction. This entire elaboration that Shri Krishna has given, it helps us first to know where we are in the city and where we have to head and how we have to head. To understand these perspectives properly, all this discussion has been happening. The first thing that Shri Krishna has told about sattvic karma is araga dvesha takritam. What is the purpose behind all the tasks? We all are sitting here for listening the Vivechan. What is the purpose behind this action of listening? Our adhyatmic unnati, we have to progress in spiritual domain. We have to understand how to live. Now that is also different for everybody. Some are just sitting here to study, some want to understand, some want to improve their life, some want to do it in a spiritual way. There are different perspectives. But while we are doing any action, how should our attitude be towards that action? Araga dvesha takritam. No attachment to the task. What is the meaning of this? Some people, this is one particular task. This is the only thing I will do. This particular thing, suppose now we all are Geeta Parivar, we are Sevis. This is my job, being a trainer. I will not touch the other domain. No. When you are in a house, children will, if two kids are fighting, most of the time what they will do, this mess I have not created, I will not clean it. That attitude most of us have. This is a very small example, but that attitude most of us have. This is not my job. When we are so attached to the job, what happens? There are two problems that arise out of it. One, we don't allow anybody else to interfere or guide us in our job. Second, whatever is our job, we don't take their guidance and we refuse to take up additional responsibilities. So that is a ragi kind of, ragi means attached. Ragi is the meaning is being attached to something. Our politicians so attached to their power that in that they don't even think about what are the consequences of anything. But sattvic karma is not like that. It is not attached to any particular task. And araga dvesha takritam, and they do not have any malaise, any hatred towards task. You all know about Yudhishthira performing a yajna. After they won the battle, they performed a big yajna, and all the major tasks were divided among all the prominent personalities. Whoever is good with whatever job, they were given those tasks. So Bhim Senji, fond of food, he took up that department. Draupadi ji took up serving people. Everybody took up their tasks. Now when it come to cleaning, everybody was hesitating. Now cleaning, now who will do? Who has taken up that job? Shri Krishna himself. Shri Krishna had taken up two, our Swamiji tells in the Mahabharata Katha, he has taken up two jobs for himself in this yajna. One is to clean the feet of Brahmins who are coming in the yajna. And second one, to pick up the plates of all the Brahmins after they are eating, after they have done with their bhojan, after they are done eating their food. So 2 jobs. Amongst us also, we would have thought 100 times, forget about we being in the yagni, even in the house, we hesitate to pick up the plate of the other person sometimes. Now, ladies in the house, they won't think much, but they will crib about it sometimes. And so many times the kids always, that's not my plate, that's not your plate. I see, but Sri Krishna himself, the most valorous, the most popular amongst everybody, and Swayam Sri Vishnu Avatar he is. But he has no malice towards anything. He didn't think it was a mean, unholy, deserving task for him. He took up the job without any hesitation. That kind of attitude. Araga dvesha takritam. Aphala prepsuna karma. No fascination of what I will get after doing this work. Most of you are sitting here. I know you'll have, okay, we'll listen. Whatever we'll understand. We'll understand what you will listen again. Everything we'll do, we'll study more. Aphala prepsuna. We should not think about what will I get out of it. How this, see, again looking at Sri Krishna's life, we'll see he was just Bhagwan. He could have just sat and done nothing in his entire life. He could have enjoyed the life, but always doing something. We talk about Mahabharata. Swamiji has always told he has done so many more battles like that, bigger than the Mahabharata youth. But what was he getting out of it? Nothing. He could be a king. He never crowned himself as a king. Nothing. He wanted no result. He has just shown us how a Sattvic Karta should be. He has lived the life of a Sattvic Karta for our sake, for us to understand from his life what is a Sattvic Karta. And we see that in our lives also. We all know how many independence, freedom fighters, to gain the independence of our country, to get independence for Bharat, so many people have given up their lives. Our freedom fighters, did they think, oh, what I have to do nicely, I can just take up a job under the Britishers? If they would have thought like this, we would not have lived in such a beautiful independent society. Today, whatever we want, we can do. Celebrate our festivals, celebrate, roam around freely, because we should be always obliged to our freedom fighters. They didn't think about the result that was coming their way. They lost their families. They were separated from families. Savarkarji was for an entire lifetime he was jailed. So many things, so many people lost their lives, so much they lost without thinking of what they are getting in return. Most of them didn't even get to live in an independent India. But without thinking about all these fruits, afala prepsuna karma, they continued. So this kind of karma is what? Yattat satvika uchyate. This is sattvic karma. And it is after few more birds, maybe we'll reach us there, but mostly around us, what do we see? When tasks are given to people, what will I get out of doing this? If I do this, who all are going to come to know about this task that I have done? If I take up something, how many people are attending? What is going to come in return? We are always thinking. That is what yattu kami suna karma sahankarena va punaha kriyate bahulaya santadraja samudaritam. We live in an era where there is nothing that works without an incentive. You all will agree. We all work in big corporates, and their incentive-driven initiatives are always taken. Those who are working in human resource departments, they will understand this word incentive very nicely. Every year, how much increment? Every year incentive. What you are getting? Diwali gifts, Diwali bonus, everything matters. Without that, the employee is not being retained. Everything is driven by an incentive. What is the incentive that I will get if I do work for my own company? My entire livelihood is dependent on this particular organization that I work for. But still, what is the incentive? You all will end up thinking. This is the first question, everybody. So, yattu kame suna karma. This is all that comes later. Plus, now the first thing is this entire description in this 24th shloka is about the Rajasi karma, the incentive driven. How is that? There are a few more characteristics. Yattu kame suna karma. The work is driven by what? Pleasure. That what I will get out of it. So I'm watching television, nice entertainment, or eating food. Now eating food for the sake of health is a different food, but no, not this food, but that food is driven by what? Pleasure. Yattu kame suna. These are very small desires which I'm mentioning here, but you can understand there are so many, because I do a lot of money and other things that drive actions, that is Rajasi karma. And sahankarena vapunaha. Sahankarena, what is the meaning? Ahankar. Now here the ahankar doesn't mean pride. Most of us understand the word ahankar in the sense of pride. Here what Shri Krishna tells is not pride, but it is the ego of being a doer of some action. I have done it. I am the one, I have done it. So sometimes it becomes to that extent, even if I'm not done, I would like to know, listen that I have only done it. That ego will be there, ego of being a doer. That is sahamkarena vapunaha. Then kriyate bahulaya, since any effort, but this rajo gun is driven by effort. Whatever they do, they have that ichha prepsu, ipsu, that desire is there. It is done with an ego of being a doer, but it is done with lot of efforts. All these things are characteristics of Tadraja Samudaritam. These are all Rajasa karma. So many people, all of you go to temples, most of us go. There is a category of people who will go to temple only to have the prasad. Kids, I shouldn't say. Kids are of that category. My kids also. What is the prasad? In Navratri, we have a puja in our house. Everybody has. Now, in our community, my kids' friends, they will come always for the aarti. The first question, Auntie, what is for prasad today? Which laddu have you made for prasad today? The first thing, I immediately early morning taken a bath, rush to Auntie's place. Why? Because what is the prasad today? They will stay throughout the aarti and wait for the prasad. So now that is also good to begin with, because see, at least the karma is happening. Even if it is for the prasad, at least the children are attending the aartis. So we cannot say this Rajasi karma as a bad karma. It is not. Eventually it will head towards Satvikta. When these kids will grow up, they'll understand the bliss, the pleasures of the aarti. Then eventually they'll lose when they start gaining weight like us, and we'll cut down on the sweets and all. They will eventually detach from the prasad, but at least they will come, they will enjoy this, they will get into the habit of attending aartis. So to begin with, even this Rajoguni, Rajasi karma is okay. Gradually, this will head towards Sattvic karma. That is the Tadrajasa Mudarada. And the third category, which we all should totally avoid. It is not even worth discussing, but we should know, because introspection we have to do. Is any of the action throughout the day driven by this? Anubandham kshayam himsa manaveksha cha paurusham mohadarabhyate karma yattat tamasamuchyate. Anubandham kshayam himsa, very attached and driven towards what? Violence. Anaveksha cha paurusham. Anaveksha cha, without considering whether I have the capacity to do or not, whether I have the capability to do or not, whether I will just do it, no matter what. Mohadarabhyate karma, actions that are done due to complete lack of knowledge. No matter what is I don't care what the scriptures say, I will do it this way. So because of complete lack of moha here means lack of knowledge. The andhakar, because you don't know the right things, because of lack of knowledge, whatever is happening. Mohadarabhyate karma tat yattatta masamuchyate. These are all tamoguni karma. We should always abstain from doing these things, which are what? Which will tie you, which will keep binding you to the karma, which are, driven by violence, which are not even, whether I'm the right person to do or not, that has also been not there. And the drive behind it is greed or lack of knowledge. Now, so far, Sri Krishna has explained all these three karma. And he had told, he is going to tell jnana karma karta. So the third parameter, karta, very important. Having described the first two, the knowledge and the actions, now Sri Krishna tells us about what? Three kinds of performers of the action. Who are the performers? The karta. Karta is the one who does the action. So performer of the action is called a karta. How should a karta? Most ideal case, Sango na haumvadi dhrityatsahasamhanvitaha siddhya siddhyor nirvikara karta satvika uchyate. Here, our Swamiji says, this is one shlok which everybody should imbibe in their lives. If we all, all the actions that we do, if all of us decide that every action that we do in our lives is driven by this one shlok, then we all are going to be, sailing smoothly through this vicious dukkhalaya. This world is called a dukkhalaya, abode of all the miseries. So we'll easily, happily sail through if all the actions are driven by this. There are some shlokas, Swamiji always says, there's some shlokas in Bhagavad Gita which are worth introspection, contemplation every time. One of those shloka is like this. Most of you are also Gita Sevis, giving seva in Gita Parivar or giving seva in other organizations, also working as volunteers in different capacities. We have to try to imbibe this in our every action that we do. Very important. We can make our, worth worthy by following all the things that are described in this particular shloka. What is the first one? Mukta Sangha. Mukta Sangha, it is free from all the attachment. What kind of attachment? That I am the doer. Okay, I want to do this particular task and other thing. Mukta Sangha, free from all the attachment. And Nahamvadi. Nahamvadi means it is free from the sense of being a doer. No, not boast of the actions like I have only done it. Doesn't feel like. So when Sattvic Karta will give up all the actions, even if they have done a great job, they will say, no, this is done because of two people. Most of the great people give it to. This happens because of God, by God's grace. We also say in English, by God's grace. And like our Gyaneshwar Maharaj, he wrote such beautiful Grantha Gyaneshwari. Had it been one of us, we would have just patented it and kept it. So many people write good books, they'll put a patent on it. What Jnaneshwar Maharaj says, all this is done because of my Guru Krupa. I offer it in the feet of my Guru. That kind of bhav he'll have, doing such great work, greatest work I would say, and offering it at the feet of his Guru. When Shivaji Maharaj had made his big Maratha empire, he also offered it. This is not mine. This is all he offered to the Parampita Paramatma. He was saying, he always had that feeling that this is his empire which I'm taking care of. Shivaji Maharaj, that's why great ruler. Na ahambadi, and not attached. See, great ruler. Shivaji Maharaj was such a great ruler, but never attached to the kingdom in a way that he will be asakt in it. He will be attached to get pleasures out of it. Never like that. He took it as a responsibility, taking care and leaving it there. This is how a Sattvic Karta should be. A doer, sometimes when a person does an action, he gets stuck to that action in 3 ways. What are the 3? First, the action itself. I will only do. This is I, this is. Then ego of being doer. And the third one is the fruit of that action. What will I get? This one question. Now, these three kind of, emotions that we get stuck with, we get attached to an action because of these three things. What happens? The entire distress that we have in our lives is because of these three questions only. If we leave these three questions aside, then we'll have a lot of peace of mind. This shloka is very important for us to get more peace of mind. If we detached ourselves from these three things, we'll have a lot of peace of mind. Ultimately, we have to carefully free ourselves from these three elements: the action itself, mukta sangha, ego of being a doer, and the third one. The third one is siddhya siddhyor nirvikara. See whether the task is successful or failure. I have done what? Given my best to accomplish this task. That should be our attitude. Siddhya siddhyor nirvikarak, not being attached to the fruits of what it is. What am I getting out of this particular action? See, Geeta teaches us highest level of psychological management. If we contemplate on these three things, action, ego, and the results of our actions, they make us uneasy and they bring us to a state of distress. And I did so much work, but nobody came to say thank you also to me. I have worked so much for this particular event. They didn't even honor me. They didn't send a thank you note for me. I was not even invited for that event. Marriage is season of marriages. So much I have done for them, not even invited. COVID time, there was a restriction on the number of guests that could be invited. So many clashes happened because of that. Unko bulaya, humko nahi bulaya. They are more close to you. That kind of, attachment, so much ego, so much this thing we'll have. But if we follow these principles of Mukta Sangha, the Ahamvadi, and Siddhyor Nirvikara that we'll discuss furthermore. If we are not attached to the fruit, then we'll always be happy. The second children, very important, Dhrityatsaha Samanvitaha. Now, Sattva Guni people, many people, attach Sattvika to, they feel it is not full of enthusiasm. That is not correct. It is full of very controlled enthusiasm. We have to understand that. Dhrityatsaha samanvitaha means what? Dhriti utsaha samanvitaha. Utsaha we all need. Without utsaha, nothing is possible. Enthusiasm, zeal is always required. But one should be very careful about it, very cautious about it. That's why Shri Krishna has put the word dhriti before utsaha. Dhriti utsaha. It should be a very careful zeal. Otherwise, I can do everything. We will not be careful. There is a life where I can do anything. No, if we want to do some big thing, let's do. Hurry, first understand the consequences of it. Now, it's just some time back we were discussing about our freedom fighters. They did such great job, so much energy they had, their naras, everything, so much energy, zeal. But it was a focused effort only with dhriti, appropriate courage, appropriate steadfastness. It was done in a very controlled way. That is why we got the fruits of that sattvic karma. Else, so we have to always remember that a karta should be zealous, enthusiastic, but he should be steadfast. He should have that dhriti, a right type of dhriti. So a combination of steadfastness. Some people will find this word dhriti difficult to understand. How should we understand this word dhriti? We have to understand it like it is a subtle power in a person which makes them strive continuously towards what? Towards completing a determined goal. Whatever we have decided. So today you all decided, I will listen to what Didi is telling in the Vivechan. So, but till end, I will sit and listen. That is dhriti. That is the power the subtle power that we have within ourselves to complete the predetermined goal. And the emotion should be, what should be the emotion? I have completed the task. with full caution and to the fullest capacity that we could do. And siddhya siddhyor nirvikara, siddhi asiddhi nirvikara, not affected by whether I'm going to get success or failure. If it is success, then also happy. If failure, satisfaction. I've learned something by doing this task and not bothering about failure. Even God does not care about your success or failure. Do you know? Okay, just thinking about it, we have seen Sri Ram when Sita ji was abducted by the evil Ravan. Jatayu, you all know, tried to save her. He was not successful in saving her. But what did Sri Ram have any grudges about Jatayu? No, he was so grateful. Jatayu has got that grace which even Maharaj Dasharath couldn't get during his end time. When Jatayu was dying in his last few moments, Sri Ram himself gave him water. His Antim Sanskar, his last rites were done by Sri Rama himself. These things, even Maharaj Dasharath, though he was father of Sri Ram, he couldn't get it. And this example has been quoted by Angad during his speech when all the entire Vanar Sena was stranded. It's a big sea, big oceans, and we are not able to cross this. What we will do? They were all very distressed. At that point, everybody was worried whether we'll be able to successfully cross this or whether we will not be able to cross it. At that time, Angad, so we don't have to worry about it. And in that, he had given the example of Jatayu. Whether he was successful or not, Sri Rama didn't bother about it. We just have to give our best. That kind of karta, a person who works with that kind of zeal, controlled zeal, not worried about success and failure, is karta satvika uchyate. He is a sattvic doer, and we all should try to attain that level of doership. Further, Shri Krishna says, Ragi karma phala prepsur lubdho himsadmako shuchihi harsha shokanvitak karta rajasaf parikirtitaha. How is a mediocre worker? Mediocre worker is first good that Krishna has described here is Ragi. Ragi means what addicted or attached to the actions. Now, two things are attached. This I already said earlier also. Two things happen when a person is attached to the action. What is it? First, this is my job. Nobody should tell me what to do with it. Happens. Driving, some of you might be doing. And somebody gives a good advice. Oh, slow down. I know what to do. While cooking also, some ladies, aisa karo, aisa karo. I know my job. You don't tell me. So many people will do that, isn't it? So we don't like, because we're so attached with the task, we don't like anybody interfering in our task. Then that this is my task, I will not do the other task. That is another kind of attachment we get. So now what happens, sometimes we get so attached to these small things that we do not realize the bigger how our attachment to these small tasks is affecting the bigger things. Okay, so suppose two people are driving. The one who is driving says, you don't interfere. The other people say, no, I'm telling you a smaller route. Let us go this way. You don't tell me how to drive. Now what happens? They follow the same route, and what happens? Ended up in traffic, reached the destination, left. Now what happened? Because so attached to my own task that they ended up reaching their destination only a little late. So this is a very small example again. So sometimes we work in an organization and somebody is trying to guide you through something. You will tell, no, this is my job, I will only do. In that case, what happens? We end up hurting the bigger task. I don't know. But at a political level, let us try to see this. Government is doing their job. Opposition's job is to criticize the policies, not always actually, but by and large, okay, analyze, and then if required, criticize their policies. Now they are so obsessed sometimes to that criticism, so obsessed to that opposition, that our job is of the opposition, that Okay, national interest is always is at stake. So when we are so attached to our tasks, when we are so attached to our job, we should see our attachment should not hamper the bigger goal that we all are striving towards. That is important. So we all, when we are attached to small things that we do, we should see the bigger purpose. Is that affecting? Sometimes, we all are in everybody does their job very nicely here, but sometimes if we feel, oh no, that is that person's job, what impact it will have on the customer so if you go to a bank, okay, there is a cashier and somebody else is there. Now one person is on leave, and how it feels when you go to the bank as a customer and this person says, that is not my job, but that person is on leave, you come tomorrow. How does it feel? It feels so sad. How would you don't curse the person who is on leave. You will not even curse the person who has said that to you. Whom will you curse? The bank only will curse, isn't it? So what is happening? The bank's reputation is at stake. So as an employee, as a karyakarta, everybody, we should understand our small tasks that we are doing. We get so involved in it that the bigger, the impact on the bigger destiny or bigger this thing, we completely overlook. The effect we are completely missing out. That is one. Then second, Shri Krishna says what? Ragi karma phala prepsarka. Ragi, desirous of fruits of deed. I want quick result. 2 minutes instant noodles. Everybody wants nowadays. Now I've done immediately. I want. If not, if we were talking about the political things, not giving me ticket, I'll immediately join the other party. That kind. Now here the word that Shri Krishna uses is not just ipsu. Ipsu is waiting for the result. Prakarshena ipsu means strong attachment to the desire. And this is karma phala prepsur. Then further he says lubdha. Lubdha means greedy. Whatever we have, that is not enough. So nowadays we also see many people hopping jobs. Now whatever I'm getting is never enough. Better little increment go. Little increment go. This kind of hopping, lubdha, greed. Not always, but this is just an example that I'm quoting. Greed can be of what? Wealth. Greed can also be of fame, which is giving me a higher position, giving me more fame. That kind of greed is also there. And himsatmak, a tendency which don't care whether it is hurtful to others. My intention should be fulfilled. So, for instance, see, for profit, they will lose the wisdom of what is greed, what is good, and what is bad. We only be focused on our benefit. For achieving their own benefit, they can, end up being violent also. For instance, see, we hear about so many types of crimes. We children getting kidnapped for what? To earn money. By making them beggars and all this kind of practices we see outside. So mean. Sir, there are in the medical facility, you see some doctors selling off the organs of the patients to earn money. No matter what effect it is having on the patient, they will not think about it. The child that was kidnapped, no matter, we don't care about what is the impact on that family, but do the karma. So this is himsatmakaha. Without thinking, they are doing this kind of violence. This kind of thing is seen in many professions. Ashuchihi, impure conscience, corrupt, foul conscience. The likes purity is this type of karta. Then not just external, but also internal impurity. See, one very important thing Swamiji says, karma is whatever actions we do, actions are a means of attaining chitta shuddhi. What is chitta shuddhi? That is, cleansing our soul. Actions are a way to cleanse our soul. However, if this is how our actions are done, are we going to have that cleansing of the soul attained? No. And the last trait that Shri Krishna has described is harsha shokanvita, gets moved easily by joy and sorrow. If I get something that I like, very happy, and immediately I excited, I did this, I got this, so much money I earned, so much this thing. Or small thing not happened, so much work I did, but frustrated with little failures. immediately upset. That with small insignificant displeasures, small thing like, I got late, the person scolded me, even with smallest of displeasures, they will get upset. This is Harsha Shokanvitak. And all these are traits of us, Karta. These kind of doers, these kind of performers are what? Karta, Rajasa, Parikirtika. These are known as Rajasi Karta. And then the last one again, ayukta prakritastabdha shatho naishkritiko ilasaha vishadi dirgha sutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. The most undesirable form of karta, of kind of a performer which you would like to have in your team. How? As ayukta. First thing, discipline is the most important thing. Ayukta, indisciplined. They have no sense of discipline. Prakritas, uncultured. They lack manners. Somebody, I got late, you immediately tell that, oh, today you're late. So what? No manners of talking they will have. Why late? No late. Sorry, nothing. No, sorry, no, please. Prakritas, stabdash. How obstinate, stubborn. At one side, there are people, the moment they know that there is some work that has to be done, they'll immediately jump on work. Satvik, they will not think about anything, we do the work. This person is stabda. Let them tell me, then I will do. When I'm invited, then only I will go to the meeting. Only if a personal invitation, personally somebody shares the link with me, I will go and attend. Stabda, obstinate, stubborn, shata, cunning. Finding excuses not to do work, yet taking every opportunity to show off cunningly. Even if they have not done the work, they are very happily, they can show off their work. Shatha, Naishkritika. They will not think about harming other people in this entire process. More focus is on harming the other people rather than doing their own work. That is Naishkritiko. Alasaha, lazy. Not doing anything is the main favorite state. We all are in different states throughout the day. Early morning, tea time, refreshing state, exercising, happy state, sad state. The favorite state of these people is what? Not doing anything. Sit and relax. And this is a very dangerous one. Now, some of you might have learned little bit Sanskrit. We might have heard of this Subhajit. Alasyam hi manushyanam sharirastho maharipuhu. This is the biggest enemy. Alas, laziness is the biggest enemy of a human being. And the list is so ending. Sometimes we feel a tamogun, so much explanation is there. We have to understand this list is important for self-introspection. Further, he says, Vishadi, lamenting everything. Even in a positive, they will have something they will find to lament. They have this amazing capacity, in something good also. Somebody's marriage got fixed, such a happy news. Arey, par wo ladka hai na, thoda something they will able to find out that for which they can lament. In beautiful everything, what beautiful weather today. Let's but with this weather it will increase viral infections. So in everything positive also they will find out something or the other to lament. And Dirgha Sutri, procrastinate. Why do today, tomorrow? See, even if some of you might not be understanding Hindi, one proverb you all must have heard, I'm very sure. Kal kare so aaj kar, aaj kare so ab. Pal mein parle hovegi, bahuri karega kab. Whether you know Hindi or not, at least this one statement most of you must have definitely heard. Kal kare so aaj kar. Aaj kare so ab. We should try to finish off the work as soon as it is possible in our capacity. But nowadays, I have heard a new version of it. These new college-going kids, school-going, new versions they are making. The recent one I heard is Aaj kare so kal kare so parso. Itni jaldi kya hai, jeena hai jab parso. Very surprising. They'll justify also all these procrastination by saying such things. Whatever you want to do, the Shastra says you should do it now. What you are destined to do tomorrow, you should do today. What you are destined to do today, you should do it now. But we will keep procrastinating. This type of doer, this type of karta is what? karta tamasa uchyate. We have to introspect, check if anybody of us falls in this category, we have to improve it. Then, now karta, we have finished these three categories, jnana, karta and karma. Jnana, karma, karta, in that sequence. There are two things which will drive all these things. Very important is the buddhi, how your intellect works. And the second one is dhriti, the power that we have within ourselves to complete a task. So Shri Krishna says, buddhir vedam dhriteschaiva gunatastrividham shrunu prochamanam sheshena prathak. Buddhi also falls into three categories. Buddhehe vedam dhritehe cha eva. Three categories. Gunatas trividam shruno. Listen to the three categories of what? Buddhi and dhriti. I'm going to tell you that separately and incompletely. I'm going to tell you, you have to listen to what? Next three categories of buddhi. Pravritting cha nivritting cha. Karya karye bhaya bhaye. Pravritting cha nivritting cha. Karya karye bhaya bhaye. Bandham mokshain chaya veti. Buddhissa partha satviki. Extremely important. Some shlokas I was telling you, we should always try to contemplate. We should try to, keep doing, thinking about it, thinking over and over about it, pondering over about it. This is second of this category. Today it is first one we have seen, Mukta Sangona Ambani, here Pravrittincha Nivrittincha. This is worth pondering every time. This charan pravrittincha nivrittincha might be similar. You've heard it somewhere else also. Homework of the Vivechan. You find out where all this charan is coming. Very important shloka. Very important charan. Now, pravrittincha nivrittincha. What does it mean? What are the actions that I should proceed with? What is it that is worth doing? What are the actions that I should stop at? What is it that I should not do? And what is it that I should refrain from doing? What should be avoided? First, what should I proceed with? Is it worth proceeding? Is it worth doing? Then, where to stop? Now that I have started doing something which I thought was worth doing, where do we stop it? And then, what is it that should be completely avoided while doing these? Having the intellect of these is having the intellect of pravrittincha, nivrittincha. All the above, these, what action should I proceed with, where to stop and what to not do, is coming under this category. The sattvic intellect has the capacity to decide all of the above, what is good for us, what is worth persuading. And karya, akarya. Karya karye bhaya bhaye. What is karya? Akarya means which should not be done. Karya is what should be done. Any action that is worth doing is karya. Anything which is not worth doing is akarya. So we should do what is worth doing. We should avoid what should not be done. We say in English also, may the good sense prevail. So may the good sense prevail. What does it mean? You get the wisdom to decide what we should be doing and decide what we should not be doing. And bhaya, abhaya. Now, abhaya has been given as one of the first Daivi gun. But abhaya, the best intellect knows what should be done with the feeling of abhaya and what should be feared. What should be feared and what not should be feared. That intellect also we should have. Suppose I'm a great swimmer and we decide in the flooded, Ganga river is flooded and I don't know, I'm a great swimmer, I'm a sadhak, I've learned all chapters, nothing can happen to me, and I'm in the flooded river, you jump and what? Oh no, that flooded river, you should be scared of it. Some time back we were discussing, we will say, this live wire, no, I'm a super electrician, nothing will go wrong, join them. It's a live wire, you cannot touch it, we should be scared. Sometime like today, our anchor Diti, she said, darkness should be feared. Why? There is, our scriptures tell what should be feared, what not should be feared. With our common sense, our common intellect, with our correct intellect, we will know what should be feared, what should not be feared. On the roads, we see so many people driving, and roads thrill. After that thrill, what happens? We all know. So is it, we have to be we have to understand that speeding has to be feared after a certain limit. So we have to be careful. Abhaya, abhaya. Karya, akarya, that is, that distinction should be there, that discretion should be there. One should, this is one thing. Another thing, we should be scared of doing wrong things. A doctor that we were talking about, stealing the organs of patient, you should be scared of doing these things, because everything is going to come back in some way or the other. So there should be a fear of what? Bad deeds. Paap karne se, we should be fearful of doing any paap. And what Shri Krishna says, these sattvic buddhi will also tell you what is a bandham, mokshai, chaya, veti, knows what is a binding, what will keep you entangled, and what is going to keep you liberated. We all are, having mobiles, so much addiction. Even I have little bit YouTube videos, shorts, how they will come, click, 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 we keep doing that. And next, so much time, so much energy, so much unnecessary time we are wasting in it. Our buddhi should be such, it should be able to tell, oh, this is a trap, this is going to entangle you in this. We should realize that this is a bandha, this is going to keep you bounded to that phone. The intellect, which the common sense, the intellect, the good sense that tells you that this is a bandha, is sattvic buddhi. It is sattvic intellect. Okay, and the buddhi which will liberate you from that, that is sattvic buddhi. People nowadays, Netflix, so many series, exam over, watch the series, didn't do it, watch the series. So I've seen kids so addicted to Netflix and other things nowadays, and there is no discretion about how much to watch. That is a bandha, that is binding, that should be avoided. The intellect which will save you from all these kind of things is what? Buddhissa partha sattviki, that is a sattvic buddhi. Then going to the next mediocre category, buddhi, mediocre intellect, that is yaya dharmam dharmai cha karyai cha karyamev cha ayathavat prajanati buddhissa partha rajasi. What is rajasi buddhi? Yaya dharmam dharmai cha. What is dharma? What is adharma? What is karya? What is akarya? There is always a little bit of confusion they will have. They know half of it, some of it they don't know. Knowing sometimes it is not knowing. Ayathavat prajanati. Okay, they are not very sure of it. That kind of buddhi is what? Rajasi buddhi. We also have this confusion. Should I attend or should I not attend? That confusion is always there. Should I sit to study or should I watch this? That confusion is there. That is Rajasi buddhi. And then the last one, adharman dharma bhitiya manyate tamasavrata sarvarthan viparitanscha buddhissa partha tamasi. The intellect that should be rectified with immediate effect is this, the buddhi driven by tamo gun. They see opposite in everything. Whatever you see, seeing wrong is right for them. Seeing wrong as right is the main thing. That adharmam dharma miti. How is their vision? Adharmam dharma miti. Adharma hi dharma hai. Whatever is wrong, that is only the right thing to do. When Shravan Maas comes, what happens? Immediately there is an overwhelming concern about milk in our country. They forget everything. They will forget what is dharma, but immediately they will start getting concerned. Entire year they will not bother about how much milk is wasted, how much milk they own are wasting, nothing. But immediately they will start cribbing about so much milk being wasted. They don't understand. They forget one thing: the people who are doing Abhishekam on Shivji, they are the ones who have the capacity, who donate more milk than, who feed more mouths than any other people in this community, any other community. They will be the biggest donors throughout the year. They will not wait to feed any poor people. They will not wait. So much dharma they do. And only people with that kind of attitude, the attitude of worshipping, are capable of doing any donations. They will have no buddhi of that. Okay. And sarvarthan viparitanscha, sarvarthan viparitanscha. Now there is the such statutory warning on the smoking some cigarette packets. There's statutory warning, harmful for health, etc. Even after knowing that it is wrong, what people will do, and they'll end up doing the same thing. They'll end up smoking. Even after knowing, even after that they feel, even after knowing it is a wrong thing to do, but still going in that direction is what? Tamasi buddhi. Due to increase in this tamo gun in the entire society, the society heads for a downfall. So it is very important that if we should stay away from this kind of, people should be encouraged to what? Improve the quality of the intellect from tamogun to at least rajogun, and then from rajogun to sattvigun. And we all are so blessed in our lives. We have organizations like Geeta Parivar. We all are here with learngeeta.com. We should consider ourselves very, very lucky that our buddhi is on the right path of progress towards getting more and more sattvic. Every one of you wants to achieve this sattvic buddhi, but just wishing is not going to be enough. What we also need is dhriti. Shri Krishna says, dhrityaya dharayate manah pranendriya kriyaha yogena vyabhacharanya dhritissa partha satviki. Dhrityaya dharayate manah pranendriya kriyaha. Doing anything. So today you all are examples of sattvic buddhi, sattvic dhriti. How come you all decided you will stay through the vivachan, you will listen, and controlling all of the senses, controlling your mind. You all are sitting and trying to understand the shlokas. That is sattvic dhriti. Determined with whatever we have decided to do, doing it with a complete sense of control of our senses, all our sense organs, of our mind primarily. Manas chanchalaha, mind is very fickle. In spite of all that, we all are trying to understand the shlokas. That is sattvic dhriti. And yogena vyabhacharanya, by yoga shakti. This is possible only by continuous studies, by continuous practice. This thing comes, entire Atma Sanyam Yoga has been dedicated to understand this. Yogena vyabhacharanya, by continuously being in practice with the yoga, we can attain that state. Some people have seen such high level of focus they will have, irrespective of what is going on around them. They can still focus on the work. This kind of dhriti, this kind of conviction, this kind of steadfastness is what? Dhriti sa partha satviki. That is the sattvic type of dhriti. Now, but sometimes, what will happen? Everybody likes mangoes, huh? I assume it is a season of mangoes. Everybody at home will make amras, very tasty, and with that amras they will make, and you will be like, oh wow, such nice amras, and it is a Nirjala Ekadashi today. Then immediately you'll start cursing. They had to do it today only. They knew it is Ekadashi, but they had to do it today only. Let me taste. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharayate Arjuna. Rajasi dhriti, how it is. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan dhritya dharayate Arjuna. Prasangena phalakankshi dhritissa partha rajasi. Yaya tu dharma kamarthan. There are 4 pillars we know: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Here it is saying dharma kama arthan. Dharma kama artha, only 3 things are being spoken about. What is missing? Moksha. So that attainment of liberation, getting united with the God, all that feeling is not there in that kind of dhriti, that kind of conviction for the action. They are what? Focused on dharma, kama and artha. This is my duty, I will do it. I want to earn money, so I will do it. And because it is because I have some desire to be fulfilled, I want to get a lot of money, so I will do it. That kind of, I will complete this task out of these 3 convictions. That is dhriti. That is Rajasi Dhriti, Rajasi kind of conviction or steadfastness. Dhrityaya dharayate. Then Prasangena phalakamshi. See, for livelihood, many people sustain all sorts of odds. The IT professionals, even in my office earlier, I've seen 8 to 9 hours, they will sit 3 hours, one issue, they will fix continuous, like tapasvi only they will start appearing for me. For 5-6 hours without getting up, without food, tuck, tuck, tuck on the machine, they will do. IT professionals we have seen, not getting up. That is also dhriti, no? That is also conviction to complete their work. And it is driven by what? Phalakamshi, because for salary they'll do. Some shopkeepers also, from morning 7 o'clock opening the shop till night 9 o'clock in the shops. So much hard work for the sake of livelihood people do. We can see that kind of conviction. That is also very important. And only when you have that, gradually we are going to go towards Rajasi, towards the Sattvic Dhriti. But this kind of Dhriti is what? Rajasi. Prasangena phalakankshi, because they have to reap some fruits out of completing the task. That conviction is there, that kind of dhriti, that kind of steadfastness is dhriti sa partha rajasi. And the last one, yaya swapnam bhayam shokam vishadam madamevacha. Na vimunchati durmedha dhritissa parthatamasi. The one which we should never have. Yaya swapnam bhayam shokam. Always in a dream world. Decide to do this work, but lost somewhere. So that person is lost. Then why? Oh, I don't know. I can't do this. I don't know. I don't understand this. I am very scared to do. Why? Sure. Always lamenting. What is the use of doing? So many times we have done. See, that person has done. What did he get? Nothing they got. So that conviction only is. It's not even. There is no drive only to complete that. It is sit to do it, but there is no drive to complete it. Always the discouragement is only there. Vishadam, start from lamenting from beginning only. It is not possible. So many, why it's not going to happen only. What you are trying, what that effort somebody comes, let us, make this event success first only. But it is on such and such days, weekdays, who will come? Vishad, starting only they will start. In the sun, who will go? Vishad, always complaining. Madame vaja, because of the other addictions also they will not be doing. See, what is the word here Shri Krishna has used here? Na vimunchati durmedha. Durmedha, their buddhi is also durmati only, and dhritissa partha tamasi. It's not even a dhriti actually, because there is no conviction to complete the work. Whatever is being done, it is done with an action of what? Swapna, bhayam. They are always, starting to sometimes I've seen, attending the class, immediately something will happen, get lost in some other this thing only. Who will attend? Who will listen to all this? Go on, the conviction is gone. There is no drive to complete that work. That kind of dhriti is tamasi dhriti. Absence of dhriti is only, I think, tamasi dhriti. And then Shri Krishna, after explaining all these things, he says, hey Arjun, the pleasures that you get out of all these actions we are doing to get something. See, no matter what we are going to do, there will be some kind of result out of it, and some pleasures, this sukha, the happiness that you get out of any action, that is also of 3 types. Sukhantadani trividam shruno me bharatarshava abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantaim chanigacchati. The sukh also is of 3 types. What are the 3 types of sukh? That we will see in the next session. With that, I offer this entire discussion at the feet of Param Pujya Swami Govind Devgiri Ji Maharaj, because of whose blessings we all are here, and at the feet of Shri Krishna, because of whom the entire Bhagavad Gita has come in our lives. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Shri Krishna, everybody. Thank you so much for the patient listening. I'm sorry that took a little time extra again, but Apologies for that.
Not at all, Didi. I think all of us would have just gone on and on and on. It was like looking in the mirror, knowing ourselves, and you have cleared that mirror for us. Now we have recognized it, and we are eagerly waiting for next Saturday when you are going to take us forward on this journey, this beautiful divine journey. I'm sure most of us are reeling under her effect, but and we must have been having some questions with so many things explained by her lovely examples, the Netflix example, the phone example. All of us could identify with those examples, I am sure. So if you have any query, despite this very clear session, I'm sure most of us do not have any question, but if we have, please raise your hand, and please switch on your camera so that we can unmute you. Rama Didi, do you have a query? Yes, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Rama Didi, pranam.
Didi, first of all, I want to say your voice is so nice and so melodious. It's always a treat to listen to you.
Shri Krishna's blessing. There's no contribution from my side for that. But so.
And the second question, I mean, my first question is, I just want to ask you, sometimes we want to do good things and our intention is also good, but still we are not able to do all those things. I don't know why it happens.
So what you want to do, we have to see which category it is falling in. What is it that is stopping you from doing that thing? We have to analyze. So now we know all the characteristics. What is it that is stopping? Is it the fear of the fruit? Is it the fear of the result? Or is it fear of something else? Karya. Is it that you have any doubts about it? What is the thing that is stopping you from doing? See, if the last intent is correct. For instance, I've seen, many sadhaks in my classes say, Didi, we also want to do seva at Geeta Parivar. We also want to become volunteers at Geeta Parivar. But we are not able to do. The time is not there. Introspect, what is it that is stopping? What is it that is, hampering it? And work over it, and we'll be able to achieve everything ultimately.
Thank you so much, Didi. And your answer is so correct. Immediately I have got the answer. Thank you, Didi. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you, Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna, Didi.
Jai Shri Krishna.
I just want to understand. It is true that it is, advised that we need to prepare prasad, offer to God, and take it as a recommended practice. But on a regular basis, even if I am preparing my rice, as you know, the what we call raw rice contains some small what we call the insect. So while cleaning this, although I try to be vegetarian, I'm killing the insects. So I want to understand what is my position. Knowingly or unknowingly, I'm killing this. So where do I stand in Krishna Bhavana Bhakti?
This is a very important question, and even very important question comes to many people. Very even a small act of cooking in our house is it comes with a certain level of himsa that is happening. In that case, Shri Krishna, we have seen what is the intent, what is the bhav. We are offering everything and to the feet of Shri Krishna. You are doing your job, but there is not an intention to hurt anyone. See, your job is to cook. It is like, and we are offering everything to Shri Krishna. We are doing it under his will. That is not coming under the path. What is being, what there is a, a small, what do you say, we used to have this practice of whatever is being cooked, you offer some of it to they used to keep one bite aside for all the ants and everybody to eat. So this is like a prayashchit, whatever damage has been done, that little prayashchit has been done to take care of the damage that has been done. So if we now, what happened, these modern people, they have cut down all these other extra practices. Offering the food to cow before, in our hometown, many people do that. Offering it to a cow before having it on your own. So whatever karma we do, karma is doshabad. We have seen in the previous shlokas, the karma comes with a set of doshas, as a set of shortcomings. But there are also the other karmas which will take care of that balance it out. We have stopped doing the balancing out somewhere. So we should try to do that. If we try to do that, the balance is going to happen. And otherwise, whatever damage is being done, we have to, bear its fruits also. Come in that yoni, get killed, and whatever is happening, the fruit is definitely going to come to us. But anything done with a nice intention, it is going to be Ganga Arpanamastu, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Ganesha Devi.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you. Just a small question which always comes to my mind, that sometimes we start some discussions and it turns into arguments. So better to fall into that. Shall we withdraw from it is a better option, or how I can
see? If your point is correct, then there is a way to put it. This, how do we how to talk? This is very deeply described in our scriptures. Even in Bhagavad-Gītā, manastap, vangmayatap. So when you are putting forward your point, when does a point or a point of discussion turn into an argument? When we lose the vangmayataps, that boundaries of the vangmayatap, how to talk. When we lose that maryada, it is going to become an argument. So we have to see. We have to understand. It is not necessary that the person in front of us is going to understand, but we are Geeta sadhaks. We will understand that boundary and follow our speech, that our speech falls in that purview of Vangmayata. And we should talk in that manner. Then arguments won't happen. Jai Shri Krishna.
Yeah, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Please excuse me for my impudence. The thing is, like, last time, I want to, suddenly I remembered the last time discussion. One of my brothers, in the group, he asked that, if at all some small creatures are found when, he sits for the puja and all that, that time, suddenly you feel like, killing them and all that. And it is generally felt that because, it leads to a bad karma and all that, we are not supposed to kill the creatures and all that, we have to let it go. But the thing is, like, suppose the small ants and those things, they are just crawling on the photographs of the gods and goddesses with a good intention that the god photo should not be, seen being the creatures being traversing the thing and all that. With a good intention, you try to kill it. This is one part. And the second part is suddenly, and it can also happen that, that God wants to give mukti to that through you. We never know. That time, probably we may be killing.
We don't know who is going to get mukti to. Tomorrow, if somebody says, I went and killed that person, God had destined him to get mukti from me. That doesn't happen. We are not Shri Krishna. No? Shri Krishna doing that, he will get mukti. We will get paap only. But now, what you said, if an ant is crawling over a photo, ant can be picked, killed and set aside. Another way is you can just pick the photo and blow and put it aside. So the ant also doesn't get killed. There has to be, only when we understand, when our intention is, if you do not kill the ant, then you will find out a way to save the ant and put it away from the photo. This is what I firmly believe. So simple things. There are two ways, no? Either you kill the insect and throw, or you just do foo, how, what is the weight, it will just fly off, but it will stay alive. So we should not decide that the ant is destined to get mukti from us. That is not for us. Agar वैसा होगा तो unknowingly it will come under the feet. That is happening. That's always happening. We go for morning walks, walking in. That might be happening. We are not aware of it. But consciously doing it is not correct. There will be, and this thing will happen only when you have that feeling. You know, that is what the samatva buddhi, that there Shri Krishna is in that photo, and ounce of that Shri Krishna is also in that ant. To save that photo, which is a, you know, we are killing that ounce of Shri Krishna also. Only when we have that feeling among us, you will find out a way to save the ants and do your puja also.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Shri Krishna. I think there are no further questions. Thank you so much for patiently listening.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for attending the session, and thank you, Shraddha Didi. As always, we do not have enough words to thank you for how you are putting this effort for all us people who were waiting for the English Vivechan sessions for the higher levels, and especially this chapter, which is like Ek Adhyay, and we are getting so much knowledge of the entire Geeta together here. So thank you so much. I will fail in my duty if I do not thank the tech team which is behind us, Deepak Bhaiya and everybody, Jyoti Didi, Deepak Bhaiya, everybody who's working relentlessly behind the curtain to make this a smooth going, successful session. Sadhaks will wait for you. I'm sure I don't have to say, because all of us will be waiting eagerly for next week. So do join us next week. And before we go to the closing prayer, I must remind all of you that our Pujya Gurudev has taken up this oath of Shat Koti Hanuman Chalisa. So please download Ram Pratishtha app if you haven't. We are a family and we must make it a grand success always. Make this effort to take this app to as many people as possible. Keep chanting Hanuman Chalisa. Today we'll also end the session with Hanuman Chalisa like we began. So please wait for it. But before that, like I said, let's offer this entire session to lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and the understanding that we are getting from it may come to us as much as we deserve. So for that, for the closing prayer, I'm going to call forward Kushal Bhaiya from Bangalore. He is a second-year engineering student and has joined Geeta Parivar in October of 2022 and serving as a tech for the L2 level. Kushal Bhaiya, please come forward.
Jai Shri Krishna Didi. Yogesham Satchidanandam Vasudevam Vrajapriyam Dharma Samsthapakam Viram Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Shri Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Jai Shri Krishna. Soulful recitation.
Thank you, everyone. Please do join us next week and just wait for the Hanuman Chalisa to be played, which Deepak Bhaiya is going to play now. So let's chant it together and then leave the session.
श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मनु मुकुरु सुधारी बरनउ रघुबर विमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरौ पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार। जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीसति लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिवे को रसिया, राम लखन सीता मन बसिया। सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा, विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा। भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाय सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरतहि सम भाई। सहस बदन तुम रोजस गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहिसा। जम कुबेर दिक्पाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सकै कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा, राम मिलाय राजपद दीन्हा। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर है सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानू। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेलि मुख माहि, जलधि लांघि गए अचरज नाही। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे। सब सुख लहै तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कांपे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरै सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत वीरा। संकट ते हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों जुग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नौ निधि के दाता, असवर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुबर पुर जाई, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित्त न धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करहु गुरुदेव की नाई। जो सत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंदी महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरना, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसहु सुर भूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय।
Jai Shri Ram. Stay in bliss. Stay blessed. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Stay Geeta-mayi. Stay Krishna-mayi.